Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome back to another edition of the Kings of Anglia Fan Social. I am back after a week away. I feel a bit rusty, and my laptop is alive at the moment. If you can see that background noise and hear that background noise, I'm very sorry. But we are going to talk all things Town. Of course, it was typical. I was away for a week, and Town signed two new players. Freddie La Daca and Dominic Ball are now officially Blues players. Today, I'm joined by a debutant and a man you very much know. A familiar face, a familiar voice in good old Bono, but the man making his debut is good old Kally. Welcome to the show, my friend. It's been a long time coming. We've had discussions, we've chatted outside ground saying, I'm going to get on a podcast at one point, but you are here with us. How are you, my friend?
Like a kid at Christmas, man. I'm excited. I got you, I got Bono, got Christopher walking in the background. What more do we need? You know, it's good. And we're talking Town and we've got two new signings. So, yeah,
Indeed,
all good, all good.
Good. It's a pleasure to have you on. And, of course, the man that is joining us in this nice little threesome is good old Bono. How are you doing, my friend?
Hello, good evening and welcome. I'm very well. I'm excited to have Kally with us. Welcome aboard. And let's get cracking with what we're going to discuss this week.
Indeed. So let's just talk about it then. Two new players in the building. Let's start off with Freddie La Daca. Of course, the boys, the main part, have discussed this in depth already, but I want to get your guys' thoughts. I also want to have a little chat about it as well, because the sexy stuff, transfers, you love to hear about it, you love to talk about it. Let's go and talk about Freddie La Daca first. A striker. That is the most sexiest of strikers. You want that sort of transfer. You want that. Kally, Freddie La Daca, free transfer, 3-year deal. Has won promotion from League One twice at Rotherham, of course, last season. Your thoughts on this one?
That's a good signing. If you look at his stats, he's got, I think it's about goal in every 2 games or something. I know there was a bit of a gap when Norwood left as a natural goal scorer and everything, and a few people were a bit worried about that. But you've got someone like the Ladapo who's done better numbers than Norwood, stays fit as well. And he's got that champion, that kind of winning mentality, I guess, because he's won. I know he's been relegated, but he's had promotions from this division as well. It'll be interesting to see how he lines up, because if you look at the way he's played previously, it's been with a strike partner. Whether he can do that alone, or whether we'll have the kind of, like, if you got like Chaplin as a 10 or someone who kind of drifts forward, or McKenna may go 2 up top or whatever. We just don't know. It'd be really interesting, but I'm excited about it. I think it's a really good signing. It's got goals written in it, and from what I'm hearing from some of the Rotherham kind of fans, is like he's a player that gets in and around the box. A lot of his goals are all around in and around the box. How many times last season have we seen the ball coming in and just one blue shirt in the box, or in the wrong place, or whatever, or with like 5 yards behind? So it's exciting. It's exciting.
Good to hear. And my laptop is very excited. I'm sorry once again to listeners on your runs or whatever you're doing. Sorry about that. But well said, my friend. Bon, over to you. We've needed to sign a striker. We'll probably need another striker as well. But Freddie La Daca, the first summer signing. It's been now a week since he signed on the dotted line. He actually handed in a transfer request at Rotherham. That's always a bit of a red flag sometimes. But he scored at this level before. Your thoughts?
I'm quite pleased, really. It looks like he's kind of going to be a replacement for both Bon and Norwood. And I remember we've played against him a few times, and he's always looked a bit of a handful. He's quite tall, he's quite strong, he's also quite skillful. And like you said, you mentioned the red flag thing before. Totally. When a player hands in a transfer request and tries to force a move through, you kind of automatically kind of think, oh, he's a bit of a bad egg and such thing. But I've been reading some stuff by the local press up in Rotherham, and they've got some really, really good coverage of their club, much like Ipswich have with our local press. And, Paul Warner's come out and said that he couldn't have trained any better, and he couldn't have kind of held himself any better around, there was no moping, there was no kind of causing trouble or anything like that. So he certainly, on the face of it, somebody that does push through a transfer request in a winning team, you do think, are they maybe a bit of a bad egg? And I think he might have previous as well, particularly when you look at how many clubs he's had. You know, he's in his late 20s, and I think we're going to be his 16th or 17th club. And, you know, you kind of think, you know, is there, you know, a bit of an attitude problem there? Thankfully, there isn't. And when he was interviewed by the club when he signed, he came across really well, really positive, really intelligent and articulate, which we don't often see from footballers, do we? So when you do get that, and you know, it's nice to kind of have your preconceptions about a player because of what you've read and what you've heard just completely kind of nullified as well. And I've also seen some stuff about him and his style of play. A typical Ipswich player by the sounds of it. He could do the good things really, really well, and you know, the easy stuff kind of messes it up. And I know there's been a bit of a viral highlight reel of a few things, you know, hitting the post and hitting the bar and going sky high, but his stats, you know, get ready, Shakira fans, because his stats don't lie. You know, with a player like that in the team, you know, I've got a feeling he might be the number one choice. You know, will he take that number 10 shirt that's been vacated by Norse? We don't know. He clearly wants to be the main man. And you know what he said about Kieran Mckenna. It sounds like he's going to be the type of guy that needs a bit of an arm around him and a bit of a well done every now and again. So yeah, I'm quite excited about it. Really, looks to be a decent signing. So yeah, roll on July or the pre-season, June, whenever pre-season starts.
Yes, mate. And Kally, I was going to actually quickly ask you more about Freddie La Daca. What did you sort of get out of the interview? You know, when you see club interviews, sometimes they're cliche answers, sometimes cliche questions, but I got a lot out of the interview, actually. He just seemed like a really good lad, and I think he probably just wants to now get settled. I know I think he lives in Romford, so he's probably wanting to come back south because, you know, living up in Yorkshire way, he's been there for a few years now. But I mean, he seems like a grounded man, and he probably just wants to score goals again.
Yeah, that's it. So he's from like you said, that area. It's all London to me. So yeah, he's from London, and he's moving back towards London, and he's playing close to a London club. But no, I think I like the interview. Bono said it perfectly. Like he come across really well. Very disappointed in the sandwich choice. To be honest, he should have gone for tuna. Or I know Bono's here, but they've got some, you know, some great veg or ploughman's or something, or something like that, vegan or something. Sorry, Bono, he's giving me the evil look, right? But yeah,
I'm giving you a thumbs up. Thanks for backing the nettles and the sunflower seed choice.
My wife's veggie, mate. So I'll be honest, it's all about vegan. Some of the veggie stuff is real good. But we're going to digress in a minute. We'll be talking about the plant at McDonald's in a minute. But no, yeah, come across really well. Interesting point that we're saying about, you know, unsettled at other clubs. Maybe he just needs to be back closer to home. Maybe this is the right move at the right time for him. And again, like the Scum manager, Scum ex-player manager Warren said, he trained really well. So remember, it's kind of similar to Jackson, although Jackson didn't hand in a transfer request and stuff like that. He got his head down and trained, and he come back. And Jackson's come out and said that actually, since he's been at town, this has been the best manager that he's played for under McKenna. So maybe, you know, this could be the right manager for Ladapo as well. But yeah, he's got goals in him, exciting, very physical player as well. We might score some corners, you know, a couple of headers. So I know, mind blown, right? So it could happen. We don't know, but it's exciting, and I wouldn't be. I think we'll see another striker coming in, but I wouldn't be opposed to him being the number one striker.
Indeed, yeah, because he's proven at this level in League One before Rotherham. He scored, I think, 18 goals for Plymouth.
And it's
so
it's having that winning mentality as well, being a winner, a champion, knowing what it takes to be there. And the more kind of winners and leaders we get in that dressing room, the better that's going to be, and the better that will influence your players, like your kind of strong players who haven't won the leagues and stuff like that, like your Burns or your Wolfie or your JDs or whatever, but they're strong players. That mentality can become infectious to them, and you're seeing that already in the performances. I mean, Wes Burns, what a signing, right? Wolfenden rose from the ashes. JD, come on, you know, these three have been absolutely amazing, and that's just on the back of this season with McKenna now pre-season, a bit more stronger personalities in the dressing room. We hope, dare we dream,
Yes, indeed. And Bono, Kieran Mckenna, it must be a massive draw for these players now. With his, I know he's still a young coach, but what he's done at Man United before, Tottenham as well, and of course he's linking up with Dominic Ball. Let's talk about him then. He's a second summer signing. You're talking about squad numbers, so you're thinking Ladapo will get number 10. He's number 10 at Rotherham. What are you giving Dominic Ball? He's a midfielder joining on a free transfer from Cuba. He's dropping down. Another player that is dropped down from the Championship, and I think he had Championship offers as well. So for him to drop down to League One, Kieran Mckenna, that pull again, but Dominic Ball, eh?
Dominic Ball, I'll be completely honest. I didn't really know much about him before he signed, and then when we did sign him, and again looked at the interviews. Obviously, you did Ross a bit of an insight with QPR media as well. That was really good insight into him, and he just sounds like what we need. Obviously we had like an option on Backinson, but this guy, he's been a regular in the Championship. He's got that bite, which alongside people like Morsey and Evans is going to be absolutely fantastic. And high energy, competitive, wants things done to a certain standard. I know Ladapo said the same thing. He expects, we heard this from Morsey, haven't we, that he wants people to be at a certain standard, and he will drive them on to be that. Dom Ball said exactly the same thing as well. It sounds like the perfect signing to get in that midfield, because we've got the creativity already up top with our number 10s, and I think we needed that little bit of competitiveness as well. I think Morsey, Evans, and Ball being our three kind of 3 into 2 in the centre mid, and again we've got that McKenna connection as well, because he played for him in the youth team as well. I think he's from roughly the same part of London, so that kind of South Essex M25 corridor, so it's going to be straight up the A12 for him. So none of this ridiculous McGoldrick 17-hour commute and getting hamstrings because you're stuck on the A14 all day. He really likes community engagement. And I know that Kally can now tell us all about his book.
So I did order his book, right? And I thought, okay, it goes to that charity as well. And you know what? This is really bad. I can't remember what the charity was. But it's a charity close to them. And what was interesting in the kind of, the acknowledgements part at the beginning, he talked about who he'd like to thank, and he talked about some coaches, and in there was Kieran Mckenna's name, because obviously he was his coach at Tottenham. So he's given thanks to him or whatever. But the book is about him and his pals in the game and their kind of journey to it. So from the back page, the back cover, and the couple of pages I read at the beginning, it seems like a good read. But Mrs. has put it somewhere, I don't know where it is, and I was saying I wanted to show you, but I don't know where it is. So I think he looks like a possible upgrade on Evans. But again, like Bono says, I haven't really seen him play too much. Evans, I was fortunate enough, I'd seen him play quite a bit when like at Wolverhampton and stuff like that. And to be honest, when he joined, he had a couple of good spells and stuff like that, but he didn't look the same Lee Evans that I knew, or that we'd known from the past or whatever, in that Wigan team or that Wolves team or whatever. The problem I see with Evans at the moment is he's a bit injury prone. You need to be available. You need to be in that squad. So it's all right saying, okay, we've got a great centre midfielder here, but if he's not available, then what's the point there? I honestly think it's going to be a Ball and Morsey. Hopefully, obviously Morsey stays, but a Ball and Morsey situation in the middle. Remember, we've still got Raheem Harper, and Raheem Harper, and remember when Backinson signed, and I remember the write-up about it, and I think Andy or Stu did it in the paper and did like the profile on him, and it was very similar to the profile of Raheem Harper. Harper's a bit younger, and he's obviously our player. He's on the books already, so I'd be quite intrigued to see how he fares over pre-season under McKenna. Same with like your Kyle Edwards and stuff like that as well. But I wouldn't be adverse, if we got rid of Lee Evans and brought in Backinson and had Backinson and Raheem as deputies, that could be a possibility. And then you got Morsey and Ball as your starters. It just means for people like Idris, maybe they can get into kind of a backup, or they, go on loan, or maybe they need to be sold or whatever from there.
Interesting take that. Because Backerson for me at first I thought, he's not great, but he grew on me. He grew on me over games and games. Of course, he still at Bristol City. Probably doesn't have a future there because Nigel Pearson. Yeah, well, we know what he said about him. But Lee Evans. I love Lee Evans as a player. I think he can be a really top player, definitely League One level. But as you said, injuries. A lot of injuries at the end of last season. Didn't play at the end of last season, did he? Because he was basically in the treatment table. Bono, your thoughts on what Kally said there about Dominic Ball? He would definitely partner up with Sam Moores. That'd be a fantastic partnership. That's maybe gives an opportunity for Morsey to drive forward a bit more. You're going to have two, mean defenders who are not going to wanting lose balls, and that's perfect partnership. And hopefully Morsey does stay, as Kally said.
Yeah, I kind of had this. I had a bit of a sinking feeling about Evans, to be honest. I really like what I saw of him, and then. And we had injuries. He plays at a very, very high. He's quite intense in everything he does, but he doesn't always get the right kind of output. And that injury he got, I think, is a little bit more serious than potentially was let on. But we kind of, now that kind of Sam Morsey's been given that kind of new role, because we just thought he would just come here and sit and break up the play and ping it around and let everybody else kind of drive forward. Now that we're kind of playing to his strengths and we're just seeing, the way he's playing is not the Sam Morsey that we signed, is it? And it's fantastic the way that he is playing, and long may it continue. But if Ball is anything like how he's been described, then he just sounds like the perfect foil for him, really, doesn't it? I think with regards to Raheem the Dream, I think if anybody's going to get a tune out of him, it's going to be our man, Kieran Mckenna. I think he needs a good pre-season. He obviously needs to get over the disappointment of that loan spell at Crewe. And obviously he kind of fell out of... I think he's hung out to dry a little bit. Obviously he started... I remember seeing him start our pre-season last year away at Dartford, and him and Evans in the middle, that they looked all right. They were never going to set the world on fire, but this is a player that came with a lot of hype, and he'd obviously been in the Premier League the year before, so he's got a bit of work to do. I think sadly for Iddy, I think he might need to find pastures new. He's very, very similar to Ndaba in a way where kind of he's been on the verge for this is the fourth or fifth season now where he's been on the verge of the first team. And I think at his age, I think, and where we are as a club, it's not going to be a comfortable place for prospects. We're going to need people to kind of come in. And I don't think we're going to be able to really carry anybody. So I think, sadly, the likes of El Mazzuni and Dobra, I think they might have to go play elsewhere, whether it be on loan or permanent, because they're at an age and a stage of their development where they're not going to want to hang around and not be in the squad. They're also of an age where they're going to be overage players as well now. So it's certainly going to be very interesting. We've got certainly an interesting month ahead, haven't we? What with the release of fixtures, squad numbers, kits, pre-season friendlies, squad registration, which is easy for me to say. It's the closed season isn't always bad, is it? There's a lot of fantasy.
Sorry to jump in, Bono. The funny thing is the transfer window is not open yet, and we've signed 2 players. I know they're free transfers; you can do that anytime. But the thing we're getting the business done earlier in terms of 2 key positions.
Yeah,
that's good. Good to see.
Absolutely, and I don't, we're not going to see another summer ever again like what we did last year, were we? I think I've seen a lot of people. I don't know what your take is on this, is Cal, but 4, maybe 5 in. I don't see many more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm on that number as well. I think maybe left back, another striker, and then another maybe attacking midfielder or like a 10 or 8. I don't see any more. The only way that would happen is if we needed to, say, I don't know, bring in another goalie if Ladke goes, or if. But then again, just digressing slightly, if Ladke went, you've got the youth. You got is it Ames or something? I can't remember the
Nick Hayes.
Nick Hayes.
Yeah.
That's it. He's I know he's just training or whatever at the beginning of each games or whatever, but he seems an okay shot stopper. How many games is he going to get really? Is it worth maybe just giving that spot to a youngster? And then obviously letting Ladke go and continue his career, because obviously for Ladke's point of view, he's not going to displace Walton. I don't know who's going to, Walton is just, I know Burns gets all the plaudits and stuff, but Walton's been very much an unsung hero over the last season. What a keeper. He'll get us 10, 15 points next season easily. And I think he got us about 10 points last season anyway.
You know what? You're dead right. But, just throwing a bit of a spanner in the works there. You mentioned Wesley Burns, our beautiful Welsh. Congratulations, Wes, if you're listening, on your first cap for Cymru. To throw a total spanner in the works, he not only did he wear the number 9 for the Welsh national team, he played at left back. And I don't know whether I caught some/most of the game, and the way that guy sat on the left-hand side and drifted in, talking Football Manager, is like an inverted wing back. He got the ball and he just went diagonally across. I thought, could he do that role for the mighty Tractor Boys of Ipswich Town? Well, hell yes, could he? So do we need to go find a right back? Could JD now go play on that right-hand side and free up a centre-back berth for the likes of Ndaba or Baggett? So the left back role might not actually be.
I wouldn't move him though.
No.
And also, I think McKenna likes right-footed players on the right side, left-footed players on the left side. Also, we're forgetting KVY played left wing back at Colchester, and that's where we signed him from. He's a good. If KVY finds his confidence, because I think after that Bolton game, his confidence was shot. Or whatever, and players, they're humans at the end of the day. We all like it in our job. You get knocked publicly like he did in front of how many 20,000 or whatever. It's going to rock your confidence. But I thought fair play to him in a couple of games he's come in since, especially under McKenna. Don't forget, was it Oxford he started right wing back, and he set up Chappers for the goal. He comes back in, gets an assist. So we know he's got an attacking threat, and we know he's good defensively. He'd be good cover. The only reason I'd say he'd be good cover rather than a starter is because, again, it's injuries. It's about staying fit as well. He's a very good player. If he gets the confidence and gets the injuries, then you've got a left wing back. Otherwise, he's cover. But to throw another spanner in the work, Bono, Carl Edwards.
Yes. Oh, totally. I'd every day of the week, I'd get the real Eduardo, as they call him in Germany. Das real Eduardo. I'd get him in. I don't care what side, because that boy is just pure spice, isn't he?
And he's quality.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a big year for him. But I'm much like Harper, actually. But you just wonder whether Kieran Mckenna kind of sat there, thinking about things. He's got like his tactics board on the kitchen wall at home in his like new house, which he's like moved to, settled in the area and stuff. And he's thinking, Kyle Edwards, left or right? Oh, I don't know. What do you reckon, Mrs. McKenna? That kind of. I'm just being silly now, but hey, this is what it's about sometimes, right?
To be a fly on the wall in the McKenna household.
Yeah. We should just ask him at press conference one day.
Do you know what it is? With Kyle, the thing, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, is because yes, we can see what he does attacking, and okay, he hasn't got the numbers for. This is the problem with stats. If you just look at stats, you think he's not a very good player in terms of going forward. But actually, I take you to the Wickham away game, I know people don't like the term pre-assists or whatever, but there was quite a few pre-assists that he laid on for people. He's done that in a few games, and he's a great attacking outlet. But the reason I say left wing back as well, because like Wesley on the right hand side, they're very good defenders as well. They can they stand up very well. The early part of the season when he was on the left with Matt Penny, the reason Penny didn't get skinned as much as he should have was because Kyle was there helping out, sliding, great slide tackling, standing his ground. I was impressed with him. So I think he's got that defensive bit in his locker, and he's got the attacking. He's an option. But then you got KVY who could kind of cover right or left, and then you got JD again. Because remember, I know we don't want to remember it, but JD played left wing back at Charlton away. Or left back, actually, wasn't it? Yeah. But less said about that. Let's move on.
Yeah. I want to quickly jump in because I was actually going to ask both of you guys about, I wouldn't say the forgotten men, but Harper, Edwards, like those sort of players, you feel like they're here. They're quality players. We were excited in the summer, and with Edwards, I think this may be a weird thing to say, but maybe he peaked too soon with his town career because his debut against Burton, it was unbelievable. He scored could have scored an absolute world of a goal, but it hit bar. But that was an amazing debut, and that was pretty much, I think, maybe got us too excited, and then he just unfortunately under Paul Cook, then Kieran Mckenna already had his team sort of set up, and he just didn't get into the team. But I am looking forward to Edwards' injuries.
He had the quad injury, and I think McKenna said actually he was looking forward to working with him, but then so I think he was a victim of Paul Cook, and I was a Cook fan right till the end or whatever. But I think he was a victim of kind of Cook's rigid tactics as well. I think the players, there's a bit more freedom, if you like, under McKenna to express themselves. They're still disciplined. They're not running around, but those players that are creative, right? It's like, okay, you can go and create, you can do this. I honestly think, or I'm hoping, seeing like him and Raheem under McKenna, who we've seen what he's done with Jackson. We've seen what he's getting the best out of Wolfie. Wolfie looks like a £20 million defender. He could well be the next Adam Webster, as an example, right? And then you've got okay, JD's come back. JD's always been a good player. Just didn't get his chance, and Cookie gave him a chance. So credit to him for that. But he's carried on this role. I'm excited to see what could happen. But yeah, the forgotten men. It's about the pre-season. But then there's only 11 spaces on a pitch, right? And then even with your kind of backups and all the rest of it, there are going to have to be some people that go. And I don't think, for me, it'll be Raheem or Lee Evans here. I don't think both of them will end up being here. And then we may possibly bring in Backinson as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, because that midfield is, it's packed with a lot of players.
And like Bono said about Elmiz, like he's a good player. I do rate him, but is he good enough to be a starter or cover? He's not. I don't think he's better than some of the players ahead of him. So at the age he's at, another loan's not beneficial. So it's probably best for him to find and he will find a club. He can find a League One, League Two club or whatever. And then you've got your kind of I've gone off on tangent now because talking about the youngsters. I know you said forgotten men, but this is how the mind works. I go off on tangents as well. You've got your defensive options as well, because I think that's a very interesting area, particularly because I'm going to say something a bit wild here. Under McKenna in this three at the back, I'm not sure Fridge is the strongest, and I'm not convinced. Like in a 4-4-2, Fridge is the best centre back we've got. I'll say that hands down. But on a 3, he just looks uncomfortable. If you think about JD on the right hand side, who gets forward and has got to have an attacking outlet, he kind of looks like a defender trying to dribble. If you know what I mean, like it doesn't become natural to him. I know he has made it, and credit to him. I think he got a pre-assist or he got an assist a couple of times or whatever.
Loving these pre-assists.
Well, I'm a Sonny Aluko fan as well, and he's the pre-assist king for us, right? But no, I just think there's a couple of times where he just gets caught out a little. It doesn't seem natural to him. I wouldn't have Burgess there either, and I think Burgess would probably be, if it was me, I'd be getting rid of Burgess. And then maybe it's a choice between seeing how Indaba and Fridge play, and it's them two. And I know that sounds wild to say, hold on, Indaba, okay, he's had one good season at League Two, But Ndaba played left back, centre back. He's quick. He's attacking as well, and he's a good defender. He would be kind of my dark horse to kind of displace someone. Baggett, I think, needs a loan. I think he needs to go out, play full season. But yeah, I don't see it in a free. Or maybe that's just he was getting used to the tactics, and it takes him a bit of time. So maybe the pre-season he'll come back and he'll be there. Because in the ideal world, yeah, you would have Fridge there, but he just looks uncomfortable. I think of the Morecambe game, or I think of the Bolton away game as well. Just silly mistakes that he didn't have before. He had none of these mistakes before. Bar Bolton at home, where I think that Burgess and Bolton had a howler. But then, I don't know. It's just, I said it sounds wild, and maybe I shouldn't have said it. But yeah, it's there. I've said it. It's out there now. It's in the podverse. What can we do?
It's off-season, debate and discussion. We need to find things to fill time, so that's perfect opportunity now to Bono to react to this wild thing. But I agree with you, Kally. I think Emerson, unfortunately, before he got his injury, was underperforming. A few mistakes in games. Wasn't the Jordan Emerson we know, the Fridge we know, and it was basically because we switched formations. And he had a few good games here and there. But Bono, your thoughts on that and Darba? It's make or break for him this season. He needs to play first-team football at League One level now. I really rate him, but is he going to get in the team? I think McKenna will give him a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he will get a chance, but there's a fair few people ahead of him in the queue. I don't think Cam Burgess has ever let us down. We signed him as a player that played on the left-hand side of a back three. He's versatile as well. Obviously, he is a little bit more agricultural, let's say, than somebody like Genoy or Wolfenden. But Cal makes a great point with regards to Edmondson. The way that he set himself up last season, the way he holds himself, you kind of think, he's like a multi-million-pound player, potential future captain. Leader on and off the pitch, bit of a laugh as well, karaoke and the coffee club antics and stuff like that. And then obviously he had a few errors. It happens. We're playing in the third division. These guys are human beings, just like we are. But did we miss him? That's the important thing. Usually with key players like an Edmondson or a Morsey, for example, did we miss him? And I don't, I heard a few murmurings that perhaps we didn't. And the players that did come in and cover for him, mainly Burgess, who I thought came in and did really well. Obviously, I think he was the last outfield player not to be used by McKenna until he obviously did come on for Edmondson. Edmondson actually twisted his ankle right in front of. I was sat with Dan Bottom that day in the North Stand lower. I wasn't in my usual perch in the U2, and I did an injury like that when I was playing basketball at high school, and not nice. But I don't think we really missed him too much, which I don't know. You know what? If somebody came in, and obviously we've got Ashton now, he's a very, very astute dealer. They talk about developing players and bringing people through and selling them on for massive, obscene amounts of profit and stuff like that. Somebody came in and kind of bid, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5 million for Edmondson. We'd probably take it, because I think, like what you said, Kally, I don't think he's a perfect fit for that left-hand side. I think he could do the job that Wolfenden does in the middle, but Wolfenden's there. And, I remember I took my dad. My dad's a Leeds fan, so sorry, everybody, about that. That's not my choice, obviously. I took him to the Wigan game at the end of last season, and just him my dad looking up and seeing Genoy kind of on the edge of the Wigan area, and he's like, "Who's that 44? I thought he was playing centre back." I was like, "Yeah, but that's what he does. He just goes woo," and that kind of thing. It's certainly, it's really, I know we've discussed midfield, but the centre back thing is some competition, and it's going to be a healthy competition as well. And when you look at how well Baggett did as well. Obviously, I know he's away with the Indonesian team, and I love seeing pictures of him training with the Indonesians because he's literally about 2 feet taller than the rest of the squad. I think he's brilliant. And again, he's another really intelligent, articulate, educated young man. Hearing him talk, I don't know whether you've heard him talk, but when he's like, he's almost like an army officer, the way that he talks and kind of commands his peripheral zone and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think I can see one of them going. I can see one of the centre backs going. Is it going to be Fridge? Is it going to be Burgess? Might it even be Ndaba? McKenna might sit Ndaba down and say, "Sorry, son, your fifth choice." And Ndaba, he might say, "Well, that's it. I've had me taste. I'm off, mate."
That's exactly it, because it's going to be down to, unless we get a great bid for Fridge, because I would keep Fridge unless there's a great bid there, right? But I would still keep him, and he probably is still there as your starter at the moment, but he's uncomfortable. Then it's a case of, well, it's Burgess or Ndaba, and for me, maybe it's because I've got my academy blue tinted glasses on or whatever, but I want to see Ndaba progress, and if Burgess stays, Ndaba doesn't progress, and another loan isn't beneficial to him. So it'd be a shame because he is a good player, but yeah, man, it'd be interesting to see what happens, because maybe you play, but then who do you drop JD and then maybe play Ndaba right centre back and Fridge there? It's just
you can't drop JD, can you? Can't drop JD at all.
No, he's undroppable, man. At the moment, he's been quality, but it's just nice to hear talk about. Oh, we've actually got decent players here. We're not talking about Jonathan Douglas and people like that. We're talking about some good quality players that we could actually sell for profit, not nominal fees.
I'm gonna jump in quickly, and some of the listeners right now be thinking these guys are crazy. What are you talking about? Selling Emerson, but I think I'd rather be in that position than sort of like looking at our squad and go, "Oh,
can I just say, Ross? Neither Kally or I have said we should sell anybody. We are just saying it's a possibility.
It's crazy just that conversation's being made, but
yeah, I know. Yeah. But what a position we're in, where we're saying, hey, we're actually fortunate, where if we sell, some of the jewels in the crown, which Evanson, arguably is, it's not the end of the world. It's not like emergency podcast time. We don't need to talk about stuff like that. So there you go.
The thing I've been thinking of is that Kieran Mckenna will want his own team as well. We want his own players, his own boys, and all that sort of stuff. He's got 2 already. There's some of these who were Paul Cook signings. Of course, Mark Ashton as well. Some of these are also players he likes as well, and he's worked with before at different clubs. But Kieran Mckenna may go, "You're a good player, but you don't fit my role." There's certain players who have been released because he probably went, "Yeah, you're not going to fit my football, so better off going somewhere else." So it is interesting. It's always good to have these sort of debates and discussions. So I'm always good. I think we should have a nice little pause here. Bono, I saw you go to your bookshelf. Have you got a book you want to bring up or something?
No, I just remembered I bought Dan Botton's book, Ipswich Town on This Day, available from all good literary retailers. So I picked this up and I have a look at what happened on this day. I actually bought this on my birthday, and loads of things happened on that day.
6th of June. So I'm sure nothing happened much.
Would you like to know what happened on the 6th of June? Would you? Is this a
Let's see.
Is this a segue? Okay. Friday the 6th of June, 2008. Reggie Lamb, the Town Academy midfielder, then won his 4th Bermudan cap as the hosts beat Barbados 2-1 in a friendly. So there you go.
Wow. Is that going to be on the questions later?
Ross is thinking,
no.
Damn it.
Oh, no. Damn it.
That's my tiebreaker gone.
No,
I love stuff like this. Well done, Dan.
Yeah, definitely. Well played. Okay then, boys. It is time for the strike. It is Kally versus Bono. Who is going to win this week? Of course, if you haven't already, check out the Strike Invitational that's been going on our YouTube channel. We've got to the semi-finals. The final 4, they'll be going out very soon. So stay tuned for that. But Kally, opportunity for you to make your debut on the strike, and you've got a fierce competitor in Bono. How are you feeling?
Worried Worried. There we go. I know Bono's mate. He's got all the facts. He just casually pulled out by the way, I've got this Ipswich Town book of facts that I occasionally know about. Right. So yeah, he's gonna tell me, what happened at 7:37 on the 10th of June in 1954.
Blimey.
I'm scared, mate.
Nah,
Bring it on, then. Sorry, let's do it.
The questions are on our new signings, so it's sort of getting to know them a bit more and guessing that. So Bono said he didn't have a clue who Dominic Ball is, but he's done his research recently, so maybe he's been able to, but we'll figure out. We've got 4 questions plus a tiebreaker if needed. Tiebreaker is on something different because this man celebrated his birthday recently, but I won't say his name just yet, just in case it sort of spoils the fun. So question 1 is on this man, Freddie La Daca, of course, just for bring a picture of him. Look at him, all smiling, all happy.
He's so happy.
Like a player that's happy to be here.
He's so happy to be a tractable, isn't he?
Did you see when he was they showed the footage of him walking around? I think with Marcus backstage. He was like, "Yeah, I like the stadium. It's really big." He was amazed by it. Even talk about it in the interview. But yeah, sorry, we're digressing again. This is a problem when me and Bono are on the same show.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Bit of context. We've got to bring more context to this with Freddie La Daca and stuff like that because Jerry. He's a player. I think he's for the big occasions. I think he'll love the big games, and hopefully he can find that winning goal that we always struggle against the big teams or the teams we never win, who are in the top 6 and all that. But anyway, he's actually, if you didn't know this, he made a Premier League appearance. He's made 1 Premier League appearance, but for which club? Was it West Ham, Crystal Palace, or Watford? So I thought it was a nice little fact. So 1 Premier League appearance, but who for? It was a weird one because he was at Margate and he scored loads of goals for Margate, and then a Premier League team, or maybe they were champions, and I think they were a Premier League team at the time, and they are still. He then signed for him. So from, I think, the Conference South to then the Premier League, it's like a proper fairy tale story, but unfortunately he didn't play many games for this team. But was it West Ham, Crystal Palace, or Watford, boys? What do you reckon?
I'm going to go Palace. I was thinking Watford, but then you said you gave something away there. And I'm pulling because you said it was a Premier League team. They still are. So I ain't Watford, right? But so I'm going with Palace. I think it was Palace.
Yeah, I was going to say Palace as well.
It is Palace. I ballsed up there, but it's fine. You could have gone West Ham if you wanted to. You never know. It's another London club. As you can see, I did all the London clubs because, I can't see him playing for, Newcastle or whatever. That sort of stuff. But anyway, question 2 is on Freddie La Daca again. I'll just bring up now a picture of him. Just here you go, with his arms crossed this time.
Yeah.
With the Ipswich attire. I've noticed that all the signings have got some sort of like, oh yeah, remember the club shop's open. Buy.
Buy these shirts. They fit really well on our players. Buy them yourself. Now, we've said that he scored in League One before. How many goals has he scored in 155 League One games? So this is including his spell at Plymouth. I think he had a few loan spells as well. Of course, started his career at Colchester, and I think he played a few games for Colchester. Fun fact, he didn't score for Colchester. So no goals there for you. So nice little help. I'm just going to quickly get up his other teams. So he's also played for Shrewsbury in League One. He also played for Oldham as well when he was on loan. In League One, and then so how many goals do you reckon? 155 League One games he played in total so far. How many then? How many do you reckon? So if you get to closest to the correct answer, gets the point. If you get it bang on, boys, you get 2 points. So it's 1-1 at the moment. What do you reckon, Kally?
Well, he's smug, so he knows the answer, doesn't he? So I better go first. So I'm gonna say, shit, man. I'm gonna say, give me 67. Let's go 67. Go on, Bono.
I don't know the answer, but in the words of Eddie Murphy, I'm gonna go 58.
Excellent.
Love that. Now, neither of you got it bang on, but the closest is you, Bono. It's 49 goals actually. It's not as much as you think.
Still undefeated.
So it's 2-1, but do not worry, Kally. We've got more questions now. This time it is on Dominic Ball. Let's just put a picture of Dominic Ball up. There he is.
The oldest looking 26-year-old in the world.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like if Chappers and Luke Shaw had a brother?
Yeah.
That's what he'd be. With Gary Lineker's ears.
Yeah. See that.
That's a nice track top that he's got in.
Yeah.
Available now at Planet Blue.
Yeah, pretty much. But as you said, good age, 26, good age as a midfielder. I didn't say that in the intro, Dominic Ball. Good age for a player, and he's only signed a 2-year deal though. So, but we won't get into that. Now, I love these sort of questions. I hope you do as well. Just to get to know him a bit more personally. Now, what is Dominic Ball's middle name? Is it Lee, John, or Martin? So I don't know why I like these sort of questions. Like, what is this person's middle name? Blah blah. Freddie La Daca, if you want to know, although I could use it for a future question. I think
he's got awesome Nigerian name, isn't he?
Well, actually, his middle name is actually Frederick, isn't it? It's like he's like Freddie's not actually his first name. It's like he's
all right.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That's another conversation for another day. But Dominic Ball's middle name: Lee, John, or Martin? What do you reckon?
I'm going with Lee. It's not Singh, is it?
Dominic. It's not Singh.
No, that's the only middle names I know. Every Punjabi Singh. So that's all I know. Single call, but no. Okay. So I'm just going to guess Lee.
Okay.
Dominic Martin Ball. It's got a nice little ring to it, isn't it?
Well, so to say, Kally, Bono is right. It is Martin. So it is 3-1. And question 4 is multiple choice.
For pride now. We're playing for pride now, aren't we?
Don't worry. We've got another question. Another question on Dominic Ball. And I've got a picture of Dominic Ball. Another picture of Dominic Ball. So I may as well just show it. You've got Portland Road in the background for this one. There we go.
Doesn't he look happy?
He does. He looks serious happy, if you know what I mean. Like, he's mean business, but he's also like very happy inside. Like in this picture, he's got a little bit of a smile, but it's more like, yeah, I'm signed. Now, he had a loan spell with Rangers, but also spent time in Scotland with who? Was it Aberdeen, Motherwell, or Dundee United? So he actually helped, of course, Rangers get promoted to the Premiership after their rise back up the top flight of Scotland. So Aberdeen, Motherwell, or Dundee United, boys. What do you reckon? Of course, Kally, as you say, you are playing for pride, but can you get one back?
Don't even know. I'm doing eeny, meeny, mo in my head. Hold on. Let's go Aberdeen. And it will end up being Motherwell, won't it? But Aberdeen, final answer.
Aberdeen, Motherwell, or Dundee United.
Marcus Nash is going to come after you.
He can come after me. I'll spot him a mile away. Aberdeen. I think Liam from Crew supports all of those teams as well, doesn't he, Ross?
Yeah, he does.
I'm only joking. I love you, Liam. Yeah. Aberdeen.
It is Aberdeen, so it is 4-2. And Bono, you've done well, my friend. You've got them all right, pretty much.
Can we play you every week?
But because I said it first, and I'd get double points. Or
is
that how we're going to work? So
we do have a tiebreaker, Bono. The question is, as always, even though you've won 4-2, done really well, but are you going to gamble? But Kally has to get it bang on, of course, to find a question.
God.
You gonna do it? Oh, he's talking to
He's
talking
listening
to
his voice. He's taking the advice.
Let's gamble, baby.
Let's do it. Come on.
Here we go. Well, the final question. I'm just going to quickly get up his age actually quickly, and that isn't the question. But this man celebrated his 66th birthday last week, and it is a legendary man, of course, this parish, George Burley. Now, he took charge of 410 games for Town, but how many were wins? How many games did he win as Town boss? 400 and Town games. So yeah, Kally, this is a difficult one to get bang on, but if you get it bang on, my friend, blow my days. You can ride on that for a very long time. You can start saying, I've got George Burley games wins ratio bang on. So 410 games. How many games were wins? I'm just going to quickly find the answer just to remember for myself. I haven't got. I thought I had the answer in the question there, but thankfully not. So I've done that before.
If we say he went for like about, I don't know, 12. What's that? Like 30%. So maybe 30. Yeah. So let's go with about 100 and. Nah, not 100. What am I saying? No, it would be. He ain't got a 50% ratio, so it ain't gonna be 200. So I'm gonna go with 151. 156, maybe. No, I had a reaction. Is it not higher or lower? Is it not higher or lower?
We could do
151. Let's go with that.
151. Okay, Bono, you can play as well. I know you've won, but I want to see if you can get bang on. That means you've two bang on. I want to see
ultimate champion then.
Yeah.
163.
Neither of you got a bang on. It's 185, so not too shabby. So his win ratio.
That's
is
really good.
So much better.
45.1.
I've done him a disservice, man. Oh shit.
Or you're probably thinking about the Premier League, second season when we did lose a lot of games.
We did.
Go,
we lost a lot of games
down a little bit. So I think his ratio must have been in the 50s before that season, because the amount of games we've won. I know we lost a few games in the second division as well at the time, or first division, of course, and not second division. Ignore that. First division, second division was in the 90s. But yes, there we go then, boys. It's been a great podcast, another great strike, but we have got more things to cover, of course. We've nearly got to an hour, which I think is a perfect way to end the podcast. But I want to quickly ask for any other business. Of course, the fixtures are out in a few weeks' time. The question is, what games are you looking forward to then, boys? Kally, what are you looking forward to? Which away games? Because you are based in the Black Country.
Cov.
So
I'm in Cov now anyway, but I'm always between Wolverhampton and Cov. All the Midlands games are great. So Burton away last year was easy. Even Cheltenham away was only about 50 minutes for me. Of course, we got Derby. And then even like your Yorkshire teams like Sheffield and stuff like that, and even your Wigans in Lancashire, they're all right. They're not too bad. I think the furthest was Sunderland and Plymouth. I ain't got to do Sunderland again, but obviously Plymouth ain't that bad down there. It's just a long ass drive.
Exeter.
But then, oh shit, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, my swears, but I've done so well not to swear as well for 50 minutes. I'd like to go Port Vale. Just want to shout out Mal Benning. Second cousin of mine as well, but also the first Punjabi to score at Wembley in Port Vale's 3-0 win the other week.
Goal as well.
Yeah, so he's good. He'll be there. So hoping they obviously got, and obviously that's only up the road anyway. So that'll be a good fixture. I've got a feeling I know who Bono wants, so I'm not going to say that club as well. But then just any of the Midlands as well. Probably Port. Let's go Port Vale. Final answer. Port Vale is the one I'm looking to go to.
I think that's it's a proper nice little ground as well, Port Vale. And I don't know if you saw, Robbie Williams unveiled their new shirt.
Oh, brilliant!
He was performing there. It was fantastic. Well played for them to go unveil this new kit of him wearing it live on stage.
Trouble is though, right? I mean, it was great that he did that, and I did see a few people say, "Oh, our new kit, it's not out yet, and Ed Sheeran's doing a tour. Wouldn't it be nice?" And you're thinking, I don't think we would. That's not. I don't think that's like an Ipswich thing to do. And anyway, the Port Vale kit, it's white. It's like white with a bit of black on it. It doesn't exactly set the world alight, does it? But plus, wouldn't it be annoying if Robbie Williams was associated with the club? Oh, man alive.
What, you won't let him entertain you?
No. And I'm not going to drop any more. Robbie Williams will take that based things. Who am I looking forward to seeing? Well, the team the team on everybody's lips, Forest Green Rovers. I think we'll be lucky to get an allocation of 600, but that's why you get the gold card, people. That and an official coach. I think they're the biggest club that's based in a village in the United Kingdom. So that's going to be another kind of unique trip, and that'll be one of those grounds that those people on social media that at the end of their bio they've got so many numbers out of 92. That'll be the one.
I've done that on mine recently.
No, don't. No, don't be that guy. Delete it straight away.
Delete bio.
It's a good thing. I think FGR, as I'm going to call them. I've got a Forest Green Rovers pin badge, which I ordered from them when I bought some of their bamboo socks in the sale. because they're black and they're nice, and they're a really ethical club, and people take the piss out of plant-based stuff, but the way they do things, if you can upscale it, there's no reason why everybody can't do it in terms of sustainability and stuff. And I've got a fair bit of crap online about reusable pints and coffee cups, but hey, we evolve, people. So yeah, FGR will be good. Derby, I've never been to Derby. That'll be good.
Generally, so you're not missing anything.
Mark Heath won't like you saying that, but originally I'm an East Midlands boy, even though kind of Lincolnshire really isn't kind of technically East Midlands, just
Leicester and Nottingham. Leicester and Nottingham. The rest of the East Midlands is shit.
There you go, everybody.
Take it from someone in the Midlands that has to go across enemy lines, if you like. So yeah, but yeah,
Kally Bisla, ever the diplomat there.
Derby Stadium's out like on a it's out like on a retail park out somewhere.
Not another one. I hate those stadiums.
You have got like a Subway and a KFC around there, but it's just it's a bit soulless. But they have got their own Snapchat filter last time I was there. So there
really,
you go. Yeah. So if you use Snapchat, there you go.
I'm looking forward to going back to Peterborough. United.
You know what? I've never been Peterborough. So
no,
that's on my list.
I used to work up there when I was thin and interesting.
Peterborough Stadium, not
and yeah, I don't think I'll get the train because it will just be rammed. I think I'll just drive, park in Alton Goldhay or whatever, and walk down. But yeah, and who else? Yeah, Port Vale, like grounds like that. That if we've got any, obviously we're ambitious. There's going to be certain grounds that hopefully this will be the first and last time that we kind of go to. But I mean, personally, I'm looking to go to ones that I didn't do last year. So yeah, bring it on. I can't wait. I'm getting really excited. I know we've got all this Nations League stuff, and we've got.
I can't get behind that. That's just glorified friendlies for me.
Yeah.
Tell me when the World Cup's on or the Euros or some proper qualifiers. I'd rather the qualifier games over this bloody Nations League glorified friendly. That
the good thing is though, everyone. The good thing, and you're right. The good thing is about the Nations League is that because it's the coefficients and people are seeded and stuff like that, you get some absolutely awesome ties. Italy, Germany, and things like that. I think are England playing Italy? Are we playing Italy on
Germany? No, Germany.
Deutsche Mannschaft. That'll be good. So yeah. And in other news, did you see Daniel Farke is the new Borussia Mönchengladbach manager?
Oh God, I laughed at that. And I laughed at that, so we'll have to see.
I think he's a really good. I mean, I know we'll do like a Kings of Anglia Bono German football podcast maybe one day in the future, never ever. But when I saw, I was so torn. I was like, yes, but no, but it's when
hurry up and get sacked. Get sacked quickly. That's what you want him to do.
It's when you hear him talk, and he's got this lovely voice, and he sounds like that, and you just think, thank fuck you're not the Ipswich manager, yeah? It's just because there's been some awesome German managers, like Klopp, for example. He comes on, he's speaking about the boys and Trent and stuff like that. But
very good German accents, isn't you?
Yeah, really
thank you, thank you. Get Alex Bell on here. Get Alex Bell on here.
Yeah,
he will kick ass with impressions.
I'm having some bad flashbacks of Paul Lambert talking about Germany a lot and stuff like that. So I think we should move on. I think we should definitely move on as quickly.
Who are you looking forward to? Which stadiums are you looking forward to? Because you go to all of them. So which one?
Kally, thank you so much. I never get asked a question. I'm normally the one just
no, come on, Ross.
Make us all feel bad, Kally. Jesus.
Good. You should be asking him. How dare you guys?
Oh,
I get asked a few times. Waterproofs, taking pictures, doing videos.
Sodden jeans.
Yeah.
Always repping Adidas though. Big up Adidas.
Got to. Port Vale is going to be a new ground for me, so I'm looking forward to just that, crossing that off the list. I'm looking forward to going to Plymouth again. I know Plymouth is such a far way, but it's just nice, Devon, nice little part of the world. And I'm just hoping Charlton is going to be a Saturday, not a Tuesday night. I hope that is a Saturday because that's what we want. A London game on a Saturday.
That'll be the Boxing Day game. You heard it here first.
Ooh, I don't mind that. Actually, it's still not a Saturday, is it? Even if Boxing Day is a Saturday, it's going to be
no
bank holiday.
trains.
I don't like
no.
London clubs. I don't like London clubs. I just don't like going to them because you can't park anywhere, and I drive everywhere because
Yeah.
it's just easier than trying to get a train down or whatever, right? So just parking's a nightmare as well. But I hate London. But that's another podcast for another day.
Yes.
Why Midlanders hate the London.
Yeah. But I'm just like Forest Green will be a new ground for all of us. Maybe a few who do the 92 and they do, they go everywhere. They go to any random game just to tick it off. But I'm looking forward to that. Bristol Rovers, I've never been there either.
Another
one.
I've been there as well. That'd be a good game.
Yeah. I'm naming every team now pretty much, but no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an exciting season. Derby, as you mentioned, I've had some good experiences watching us play against Derby. We've won a few good games there. But yeah, looking forward to that, Kally. Home and away and all that sort of stuff. We're now over an hour, but I'm happy to bring any other business. Kally, it's been an unbelievable debut. Thank you very much for joining us. Any other business you want to add before we wrap up, my friend?
I just think, just let's keep a bit of positivity going around. I mean, I know, league doesn't lie, but our season last year was really a story. Two tales, one with Cook and one with McKenna. We've seen, and I think under McKenna's record, by the end of it, was we'd ended up in the top 6 with that squad. You can only guess that the squad's going to get stronger, as we've seen. Ladapo is obviously an upgrade on what we had, and Ball's possibly an upgrade as well, and then with future signings. So it'll be exciting to also have kind of our core players and our key players that are going to have a full pre-season. If you think of the likes of, big up Sam Morsey, he joined on deadline day, didn't really get a pre-season. So keeping having him having a full pre-season, up in Loughborough down the road, that's only half an hour away, so it'd be good if they get a pre-season friendly there. But yeah, and sorting a contract situation out with him. I know there's been interest from Wigan and a few other Championship clubs. What I can say from Sam's point of view is he absolutely loves it at Ipswich. He loves the fans. He thinks, and it's one of those, if you speak to any of the lads, they'll always say, you don't realise how big Ipswich is until you actually get there. And that's the beauty of our club. It is like, and I can tell you as being in the Midlands, I'm living in Coventry now, but within 30 miles, I've got probably about 20 clubs, right? Whereas in Ipswich, you don't get that. It is one community that come there. That's the reason we're in League One, getting 26,000. That's the reason we take 8, 9, 10,000 everywhere we go, whatever. We sell out. The support is phenomenal, but equally, Sam's only got 2 years left, and I guess he's settled in the area. He wants another year. Ashton, get your contract out. Just sign him up for another year, whatever. Put all the rumours to bed, and then we can focus on building the rest of the team and build around our spine. Because I do genuinely believe this could be the season. And I think if we keep our players like your Morseys, your Burns, we go up as champions. And I'm saying that on the 6th of June, 2022. And I know it sounds ludicrous because the squad's not even there, but I have faith. And no, I'm not drunk or high or anything like that. I'm perfectly sober. But I think, if we keep our current crop of players and make the right additions, which we seem to be doing so far, we go up as champions. And I'll be back on here at the end of the season to say, remember when we said that?
Yeah.
The 6th of June.
That up. Yeah, we'll clip that up. We'll clip it up if it doesn't happen as well. Just to
go.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, it had to be done. And before we go over to Bono, Kally, I want to just talk about. I didn't know why I didn't do it as part of the intro. The shirt behind you. What a beautiful shirt! The Morsey signed shirt, the worn shirt, isn't it? He wore that probably.
Yeah.
Stuff,
so he wore it a couple of games. He did wash it for me first because he knew I was going to hang it. So I said I can't have your stinky pits in the hanging up in the frame. But yeah, man. So Sam's obviously from Wolverhampton. We've got some mutual friends that are really close. And when I heard the possibility he was signing, I was speaking to my mates and trying to get them to convince him, look, forget Borough, come down here. So I'm not saying I was influential on it, but I'll take it. But and like I said, we chat regular, we go out for dinner and all the rest of it, and he really likes it here. His missus is settled here. He's got a daughter. I think she's young. She's gonna be going to school soon. All the rest of it. It's one of those where a lot of players, when they go to Ipswich, when they go to Suffolk, they don't really want to leave. And it is, beautiful area because you got countryside one aspect. In 10, 15 minutes, you got the hustle and bustle of a city or a town or something like that. And, London's down the road or whatever. But he's a settled player. He enjoys it here. we talked earlier about him possibly playing further forward, as a kind of more of a box-to-box midfielder. We've seen he's got goals and assists, and probably, I think, the best goal-scoring form of his career has been so far now last season in terms of the amount of goals he scored and assists. So, he's enjoying his football. His stats speak for it. We just need to tie him up. And that's not being biased, saying, okay, this is my pal, whatever. I'm saying, as an Ipswich fan, and I think most Ipswich fans will agree with me, we need to sign him up, keep him another year, sign him up, and hopefully, he's here by the end of his contract. He takes us into Premier League. That's the plan. You never know. Wolves did it, right?
Clipped up as well.
The thing is, like, your clubs like Wolves, your Leicesters, your Sheffield Uniteds, they've all done it. And now let me ask you this. Did you ever think and ask you both, did you ever think you'd be in a position where, as Ipswich fans, we're seeing clubs get bought out left, right, centre? Until game changer come, did you think that was going to happen to us, or did you think we're just going to die with Evans, or we're going to plunder along with Evans, right?
Yeah, it was very much for me. It was almost like a death by 1,000 cuts. We could still be, like sliding mirrors kind of moment. We could still be languishing in the championship, with like a background sugar daddy that Evans was, where he was just, it sounds a bit weird calling Evans a sugar daddy, doesn't it? Because he's not like... It
needed a reset, though.
It's not like a pimp, is he? Oh, yeah. Yeah, like 13 years of damp and mould and rot and that kind of thing.
I mean, like Ashton talked about at the state of the club when it was here and all the rest of it, and we know it was rotten from the inside out. But now we've seen our club get bought out. We've seen how we saw our owners on all the different pods and club channels and everything within a couple of months of taking over. It took how many years? 6 years, 5 years before we had an interview from Evans, right? We've seen Mark Ashton. He loves it. He's at the game. He's there all the time, right? He's in there with the fans. He talks with you all, right? You've got your community back. You got the connection with the club back, I think, right? And a lot of that can be driven because it's after COVID. We're on a bit of a high of being into the stadiums and everything. But it does feel that, okay, that's happened. That's the first step. Why can't we say, okay, we are the team that are going to storm this league. We are the team that are going to go to the Premier League. Other teams have done it. There's a blueprint there. And let's be real, we've got some good players. We'll only keep buying better players as we progress higher up anyway. And you've got, arguably one of the best young coaches in England at the moment, right? He's only going to get better as well. And you think about good managers, good quality managers, they start at a certain age. They're not necessarily the best footballers. Sir Alex wasn't the greatest footballer. Arsene Wenger, not the greatest. Klopp, not the greatest. Okay, Guardiola's an exception and Zidane's an exception or whatever. But the top players, I unfortunately don't think. I think once we go Premier League, I think after McKenna finishes just when we miss out on Champions League and we finish 5th again, after that, I think McKenna's going to go and he'll take the United job and be back for United or whatever. But yeah, you clip that up as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say it's going to happen. Yeah, but 6th of June, 2022, you never know what happened in the next 5 years. Hopefully, a lot of what you said will happen. I think all of us, a lot of the young listeners out there have not had much success watching Ipswich Town, but they got their club back, community back, as you said. The players are so likeable as well. Some great characters in the squad. It's just nice to talk positive stuff sometimes on this podcast. Of course, I'm sure next season there's going to be some bad games, going to be ups and downs, and everything in between. But I'm just looking forward to next season. I know it's League One football again, but bring it on, Bono.
Absolutely. And before I go off on my little tangent, Ross, is there anything that you're kind of looking forward to next year?
He's remembered.
What's that?
Are you looking forward to it? He's trying to ask you the question now.
Oh,
he's trying to be good now.
Any other business, Ross Halls?
I'm just looking forward to what you've got to say, Bono. So take it away, my friend.
Oh, top man. So yeah, just touching on what the Cowmeister General said. I bumped into a bit of a random thing. I was in Docklands in London, and I was there was a guy I sat next to, and he dropped his hoodie on the floor, picked it up, gave it to him, and he was watching some football. I was like, "Oh, you're a football man," and he was like, "Yeah, I'm an Everton fan." he's like, oh, I said, oh, I love a team in blue. And he said, oh, who do you support? I was like, Ipswich. And he said, oh, he's still doing well under Big Mick. And I'm like, mate, it's not 2015. And he was like, oh, what, is McCarthy gone? So I gave him like a quick history lesson. And he's like, oh, he's quite well-spoken Everton fan. And he's like, oh, so you're in the 3rd division? I was like, yeah, but I went on this like 10-minute like speech about how good everything is and how we've got these amazing American owners and how we've got the feel-good factor and like the fact that we're going to get like those pints that fill up from the bottom at the bar and like massive scoreboards and cool pitch and like amazing kits and digital boards around the edge, and we've got Mark Ashton who's like the second coming of the Lord himself. And it was just and he was like, yeah, but you still finished 11th. And I'm like, oh no, but the positivity and you know, I think there's a lot of us that are like kind of diplomatic envoys that I work outside of Suffolk, and I think there's a lot of us all over the country, all over the world, that we've almost been like reinvigorated. So we were kind of almost like cryogenically put to sleep, weren't we, under our last kind of tenureship, and because of COVID and the world opening up, and you know, we're kind of spreading the good word of Game Changer 2020 and stuff like that. But you could literally have like a 4-part podcast with Mike Bacon talking about all the good stuff about Ipswich Town, and you know, Mike, Stu, Andy and Mark and Ross as well, just talking about like the good things that have changed. And if you think our new ownership has only been here since April 2021. That's 14 months. Nothing happens in 14 months. Nothing. You know, some players take longer to get over like an ACL injury, and our world has literally been turned upside down, and nobody predicted this at all. And when we first saw those stories coming out of The Athletic, sorry to quote another media company there, you can clip that. When we saw it coming out, you just think, shit the bed, that ain't gonna happen at all. We're gonna end up being invested by some weird kind of flipping republic somewhere, which would be personally and ethically speaking, it would be my worst nightmare. But we have literally struck gold, and I really, really hope, not only for myself and the millions of Ipswich fans all over planet Earth and the wider galaxy, because, you know, we are not alone, and I want to believe. I want it to work out for those guys as well in Game Changer, because the way that they talk is just, yeah. One day somebody will pinch me and it all would have been a dream, and we're kind of, none of it's happened, but we got to ride that crest of a wave, and also I keep saying this, we are in the presence of greatness when it comes to Kieran Mckenna. What a great guy. Long may he be at the helm of the good ship Town. And that's the last time I mention ship and Ipswich.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be in Ross's bad books.
Ross don't know the 100 points, 100 goals.
yeah. Sorry to say, I'm going to slap you in person.
Kally's one and only appearance on the fan social.
No, it's been a fantastic debut.
Sorry, I just on that, I did see someone tweet a picture of HMS Pistol League with Ladapo's face at the front. I'm gonna have to tag you in it, Ross.
Dear. I'm just sat, fourth season League One. I don't think we need to use that anymore. Going back to your previous question, Bono, about what I'm excited for. I'm actually excited for the dugouts. I'm going to go and sit in them. I'm just going to go and sit in them. I'm just going to do it.
I went there. So I went to Portman Road last week, and I took my daughters down, and I wanted to have a look at the work that's being done. And the builders, they're on a break, probably not their first of the day. And I kind of see, when are you finishing up? And they're like, end of next week. So I think around about now. Yeah, I went to the shop, and they've closed the upstairs bit of the shop for, and I quote, essential maintenance. And I said, look, I won't tell anybody if you don't, but can I just sneak underneath that rope and just have a quick look? And the girl was like, no, we're doing maintenance. And I'm like, But come on, just let me sneak upstairs and have a little teeny look. But you could see from the corner that there's like, I don't know whether they're going to be like those cool racing car Recaro seats. Obviously, other brands of Gucci dugout seats are available. But yeah, how cool is that? How cool is that going to look?
Our dugout's always been a joke, though. It's the same seats we sit on in the stand.
Yeah.
It's a bus shelter, right?
Exactly.
And you see it, it's like, it's embarrassing, man.
It's like a
when
bus
I
shelter
come
in
down with
Rugeley.
friends. Well, I come down with a couple of pals who, they're not really Ipswich fans, have got involved, but they've just come with me. And even them are like, hold up, you meant to have money in your club, right? Like, why am I catching a bus and I'm sitting in a bus shelter and it's better than a bloody what we got in the dugout? So yeah. But yeah, dugout, man, you have to do a selfie when you're there, Ross. Get a picture in there. Be like, look, I got here first.
Yeah, I'll do a little review. The comfort, if there's like, cup holders in there as well, and all that sort of stuff. And could they be heating ones as well for the winter?
Or
You gotta think of
massaging
that.
when the players have to come
Yeah,
off,
massage.
and just
Yeah.
on the quad or something.
Like
or the hammy.
USB charging ports. I reckon
Yeah.
there'll be some USB charging
Inbuilt
ports.
TVs as well for McKenna to look for
Monitor,
tactics and
The-
stuff.
He
Yeah.
likes his iPad, doesn't he? So
He does.
The data dashboard.
All that sort of stuff. Yeah, exciting stuff. Those little things, they are little, but I think that just upgrades the stadium. Or even players, when they come and see the stadium, I know it's massive, 30,000 attendance and all that stuff. But those little touches, that just impresses me anyway. Just those little tiny touches. I'm just like, ooh, little toy to play with and all that sort of stuff. But there we go then, boys. It's been an absolute wonderful evening chatting with you, boys. Any other business? I know we've already done that, already covered that, but I always like to ask any more. Kally, it's been a great debut. Final word, my friend?
No, and just positivity, man. Let's look forward to next season, and hopefully, come end of the season, we'll be celebrating the promotion party as winners.
Indeed. I'll see you in Port Vale. See you in Port Vale.
Something before that, hopefully, but yeah.
yeah, hopefully, yeah, definitely. Bono, over to you, my friend. Final word.
Final word. No, just be kind and look after each other and everybody. I hope everybody's well, and I'm looking forward to getting back down Fortress Portman Road, and kits, squad numbers, signings, digital advertising boards, underheated soil, roof being put on Portman Road.
The Portman Dome.
The Portman Dome, yeah, Portman Dome. Brought to you by Budweiser. But no, it's
and McDonald's.
And McDaigie's. It's been great. It's been a pleasure. It's been awesome having Kally with us. So thank you very much for joining us, buddy. We will have you back any day, I'm sure. And I think Ed Sheeran's going to be announcing like the second leg of his tour, isn't he? What if we'll get any
fixtures?
We'll get any Ed Sheeran gigs at Portman Road at the end of next season, before they rip the turf up and put in that new, what's that funny word that Mike O'Leary likes to say?
Oh, you've lost me there. Oh, I can't remember.
I've lost, mate. I forgot.
We've really gone off at a tangent now, haven't we?
Yeah. Manscaped.com. Use the code KOA to get 20% off. They're our proud sponsors and all that sort of stuff. Apparently they've got new boxer shorts and stuff. So yeah.
Did you bring up Manscaped because he was talking bollocks?
Oh,
oh,
that wasn't the segue I was thinking of, but
sorry, Bono. Sorry, Bono.
All right, I'll put myself on that pedestal.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. But no, thanks everyone for listening. It's been one hell of a podcast. Hope you've enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on Kings of Anglia, all the socials, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all that sort of stuff. And we'll be back for many more podcasts and videos throughout the summer. So stay tuned. And who will be the third summer signing? We shall wait and see. Bono, Kally, it's been a pleasure. Speak to you soon.